Subaru Problems. So in this video I'm going to tell you guys some of the things that are keeping me away from doing things that I want to do, like car meets, like mower mods and upgrades that are basically being pushed back because of my Subaru's own problem. So my Subaru has 167,000 XXX miles, and basically the owner before me didn't do so great maintaining it, so I'm left with the aftermath. So number one, my engine, the first problem. So originally I tried to buy the car and I got it for relatively low for what it is, you know what I mean, 2006 WRX, and I figured, you know what I mean, I knew he didn't do the head gasket, that it needed to be done. I drove the car and I figured it would hold up, but I knew in time I was gonna have to do it. But I just wanted to get it so that I could save some money after buying the car, spend that big amount, and then go into building the engine. But you know what I mean, those problems came about sooner than I thought. So I have head gaskets already bought, I have the water pump, timing belt, I have other things that I will show you. That I will show you. Already bought, just sitting in my house, waiting to be put in, and it's not because I don't have the time or anything. It's just because more problems came along preventing me from doing this, which I'm gonna tell you now. The next problem that came about was my windshield crack. See from the inside this nice crack that stretches across the front windshield, and it originally started that nick like right there. So basically it was winter obviously passed, and my car doesn't get stored in the garage, stays outside in my parking lot. So we had a bad storm and the windshield must have froze ice and snow sitting on it, and that nicked, cracked, and spread. And that's gonna cost me about $200 to replace. I wasn't expecting that, and it sucks because I already just bought X amount of, you know what I mean, parts for the engine. Now, a windshield doesn't exactly stop me from fixing my engine, but it wasn't that the windshield cracked. It was that the windshield cracked, and then as I was trying to do my brakes, my front brakes, before I took the drive to my buddy's shop to go do the work on the engine, I found out that my driver's side brake caliper is frozen. So these Subarus, they have the red calipers, the 4-pot ones, and they look very nice and everything, but while pushing the pistons in, one of them frozen, and that is gonna cost me for a new one, because I could rebuild it, but I was just trying to find a used one off somebody's car that's still in good shape, but which I still am, but a brand new one, it costs around three something from the dealer, because I work at a dealer and I get a dealer price. It's gonna cost me like $279, brand new. And so that happened literally like I found out not too long ago after the windshield cracked. So that's $200 for a windshield. That's X amount of dollars, maybe like, let's say like 400 on engine parts to rebuild it and make sure it holds together. As head gaskets, as APR head studs, ARP head studs, whatever they're called. That's water pump and timing belt kit, thermostat, etc. So I spent that much money, let's say like $400, probably more. That's $200 I'm gonna have to spend on the windshield. It's another almost $300 on a brake caliper, and then something else happens. So my next problem. So for a while I had a power steering pump in the car that was leaking, and I knew it was leaking. It was leaking down my front cover, and I just had to add some every so often or it'll start whining. But while I was doing my brakes, I figured I'll just do the power steering at the same time. I bought the pump from Napa. I go to put it in, right? So I'm like, oh fuck, my brakes are fucked up, but let me just put the pump in, whatever, and you know what I mean, at least succeed at something. Wrong. The pump was remanufactured and it was a bad pump. And to get the original pump that I bought, you know what I mean, for the car, I had to wait a day because they had to order it. So after I put that pump in, the bad pump, I had no time to swap the old pump back in the car and bleed it out and everything because my job was closing and I had to get out. So I had to drive around with no power steering until I got the new pump. So it sucks, but I didn't take my car nowhere far. I just drove it to work and back. So then I get the second pump and I do the same procedure, put the pump in, I bleed it out, and etc, etc. But I guess either the pump I got is bad or it's just I need an OEM pump because I still have this whine. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So after spending maybe like around another $200 on brakes that I was supposed to put on my car, but then I found the problem, which cost me another $300. I also bought a pump that cost me around maybe like 120 or 180, in between there, somewhere around there. That was bad, which left me with no power steering. And then when I finally got the pump that they ordered after getting that bad one, it's either another bad one or, because I bled it out and everything, did the procedure, read the instructions, whatever you want, and then it's still whining. And no one at my job, I work with a bunch of great guys, master techs, they've been doing this for a long time, can't figure out why it's still whining. We bled all the air out and we're just scratching our heads. So I guess I'm gonna have to get an OEM one, which is gonna cost me maybe around $200 because I know for a fact I got it for $180 now that I think about it. So yeah, an OEM one from Subaru is gonna cost me hopefully around $200 for dealer price. So my money is going out the door and my car is getting problem after problem and nothing's getting fixed. So I'm left with my original problem, the engine, and then a bunch of new problems. I just can't win. So it's nice outside today, and we're getting into spring, and we got a bunch of car events coming up. You got Yukon, you got Ratchet Fridays, and you just got weekly meets that happen over here in CT that I would love to go to and bring my car to, but I just don't want to show up with a car that's whining, has a cracked windshield, or God forbid will overheat while leaving or on my way there. So I'm missing out on some things, or I have to go with other people, or just can't show off my own build. Now I can do the work all myself. It's just right now I'm waiting on the caliper to come in. Gotta order a new pump. It's probably gonna take a few days, but I have power steering again, which is, it's a little binding, but you know what I mean, it works. It's just everything's been pushing back. I've been getting new problems and it's pushing back my original problem. But hopefully in the next few weeks, well, maybe this week, I'll have the brakes and the power steering under control. And then not next weekend, because next weekend is Yukon, which I will be going to with some friends in their cars. But the week after, I'll be driving out to my buddy's shop and doing the heads, taking them out, sending them to a machine shop, and doing the head gasket and everything, and timing and everything, so that my engine is safe for what I have coming for it. And that's the other part of it. I have all these ideas for the car and things I want to do, that also are gonna cost a bunch of money. You know, owning a Subaru, an exhaust, downpipe, turbo, wheels, suspension setup that I can't do anything with or can't start investing in because I got all these current problems that are taking my money and my time, which are keeping me away from doing things that I want to do. So these are my Subaru problems.